girl can cook. She got the recipe. She got what you need. That girl can cook. That black girl magic. I gotta have it.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. And today, guys, I'm gonna show you how to make a real deal Southern peach cobbler. Okay, so look, grab your ingredients, subscribe to my channel, and let's get started. Alright y'all, so look, I highly recommend that you use fresh or frozen peaches for this recipe, okay? Alright, so look, before we get into all of that, I am using two 16-ounce bags of frozen peaches. And to that, we're going to sweeten it up a little bit because these aren't that sweet. I'm adding in a cup of light brown sugar that has been packed, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, a tablespoon of ground cinnamon. If you don't want that much cinnamon, which is a fine amount, you can take some of it out, okay? I'm adding in a half stick of melted butter. And guess what? These peaches are frozen, so they're not completely thawed, so that butter may solidify. Don't get freaked out if you see it, okay? I'm adding in a teaspoon of some nutmeg for some additional spice. And to cut back on our sweetness, I'm adding in a tablespoon of lemon juice. And we're just going to give that a quick mix right quick. If you don't want to, or if you do want, if you do want to add extra sugar, like your white sugar and whatnot, you can add that. That's up to you. I don't like my peaches to be too sweet, okay? Here, I have a slurry. It's a tablespoon of water, maybe a little bit over a tablespoon, as well as a tablespoon of cornstarch. And I poured that in so when I bake this, it will get nice and thick and bubbly, okay? We don't want watery peach cobbler. That ain't gonna work. All right, sis? All right, bro? All right, y'all got me. All right, so once you get that mixed up, add it, set it to the side, and now we're gonna go in a separate bowl and add 2 cups of all-purpose flour. We're gonna be making our cobbler part from scratch. And here I'm adding in 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a half cup of granulated sugar. If you want it sweeter, you can add more. And I'm adding in a teaspoon of salt. That's all of my dry ingredients. That's all that's to it. This is very similar to a biscuit or a pancake batter. All right. Here, I have a stick of cold/frozen butter because I got it out the freezer. You can cube your butter up if you want to. I like to grate mine because it's hard to cut frozen butter. So I'm going to grate it in there. And we're going to press this butter down into the flour mixture using a fork. If you fancy and you got you a pastry cutter, then you can use that too. But guess what? I'm going to use my fork and this is going to be okay. All right. Press it down until it's nice and crumbly. And then here we're going to add in our milk. I have some cold whole milk. You can use almond milk, soy milk, whatever kind of milk you feel, that's best for you. You can even use buttermilk, but I'm using whole milk. And I'm using the whole entire cup because I like the consistency that I'm going to be making right here. If you want it to be a little bit more tackier, you can use less milk. If you want it thinner where you can pour it, you can use more milk, okay? Maybe a half cup more. But this is the thick pancake consistency that I like to use. And this is very similar to a biscuit dough, you guys. Y'all, real peach cobbler has a biscuit or scone-like dough. Now, I personally like peach pie, okay? That's what y'all like to call it. It's peach cobbler to me, but I use pie crust, and I like pie crust. But I'm going to show y'all how to make it real deal, okay? So, go with that consistency if you want to follow my recipe, or you can do what you like, all right? Now, to a baking dish of your choice, you want to add your seasoned peaches in. Now, listen, you can add a half a stick of butter into this baking dish and melt it. However, y'all, your friend, your cousin over here is trying to watch her butter and salt intake. So I'm not going to add the butter in this time. But you can add some butter in. That's how we would originally do it down here, okay? However, go ahead and add your peaches in. And once you get all that in, get all the juices in there, you're going to scoop on your batter on top. If it's thick like mine, you'll have to scoop it like this. If it's thinner, you can pour it. You can do whatever you want to do. You can also put this batter on the bottom if you don't want to put it on top. I wouldn't suggest both, but you can if you want to. All right. There's enough to go on the bottom and the top if you choose. All right. I sprinkled it with a little bit of apple pie seasoning, and then we baked it at 350 for 50 to 60 minutes. And guess what else? Halfway through, I added a little bit of a beaten egg and some milk to the top so that it would brown, just like you see, and a little bit of sugar. And y'all, that's all that's to it. Look at that. Look at that. Look, I had to dig in from the side, you know, to get that money shot for you right there. Look at that. Honey, all that juice getting sopped up in that biscuit. Honey, I'm telling you, that's real deal. So let's plate it up. And there you have it, guys. That's some real deal peach cobbler right there, and I ain't playing. Okay, look at that. Look at those peaches. I like to cook it low and slow so those peaches take time to marry and get all, you know, acclimated with one another. Look at that. It's probably one of the best peach cobblers I ever made. I'm just saying. But I'm going to let you figure that out. I'm going to let you be the judge of that. Okay? So look, I want to thank y'all for watching. As always, thank you for tuning into my channel. And if you try this recipe out, let me know down in the comments. And I'll see y'all next time in the next video. Bye!